You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver. What the hell is that? Podcast.
It's that time once again, everybody. We've got show number 2 for this week coming at you. That's right. We're going to do 2 episodes this week. Aren't you lucky, lucky, lucky gooses? And for the second show this week, you have the pleasure of listening to the Beak Triforce. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know what that is, go back and watch some old Casual Gaming Dad episodes of Among Us, and you'll find out exactly what the Beak Triforce is. And whenever they tried to complete the Beak Triforce, didn't I just straight up shuffle in and off one of the beaks? Because I'm the ruiner of all fun. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Herald, and I ruin everyone's good time. I'm Ransom the Madman, and I come before the one who is the Chooserweight champion of the P3 Galaxy. That is Beeflactus, the World Eater. And the third man who encompasses the Triforce that is this episode of the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast. He is the axe-wielding, the silver-tongued devil himself, the most handsomest, bardiest, loincloth-wearing Viking to ever set sail upon the 7 seas. He is the barbarian himself, Poot the Bard. We're here to talk about wrestling, and if you, eagle-eared viewers, remember last episode, we left off with Beef talking about the New Day winning the NXT tag team titles, and unlike typical Ransom fashion, I'm going to go ahead and kick this off with some talkies other than the intro. Is that cool with everybody?
Voila.
Excellent.
Yeah, voila.
All right. Yeah. So
No, Ransom's kicking it off with talkies. Are you not listening to the dude's story, Donnie?
Voila.
Damn it. You're out of your element. So look, Beef, before I go ahead and go into my talkies here about this, can you give me a brief synopsis of what your feelings were about the New Day winning the tag titles?
Yeah, I don't think it helps the New Day winning the tag team titles. It's like they're batting in the minors, and I don't think it helps NXT with the New Day winning the tag team titles. So,
and didn't you say that might not be a popular opinion?
I did. I said it was a hot take because a lot of people like the New Day, and I love the New Day. New Day is great. New Day is entertaining. Put all the titles on New Day, just not in NXT.
So,
voila.
I'm gonna voila. Damn it. Look, I'm gonna agree with that. I don't think that's a bad assessment. Sure. I think that's apropos. I mean, I hearken back to Ric Flair's last title run in the WWE when he won the Intercontinental title, championship, belt. Two of those things you can't say. Sure. Or maybe you can now that Triple H is back. He's unbanned some words. But no, like I hearken it back to that. Like Ric Flair was a 16-time world champion, and he's going to win the Intercontinental title and, get all like woo happy about it and excited. I'm the Intercontinental champion. You're the 16-time world heavyweight champion, and you're excited about the Intercontinental championship in your fucking 90s? Nah, I don't think so. Like, I look at the New Day and NXT the same way. If the New Day went down to NXT and had a good run down there, just as like a tag team, having their New Day fun in NXT, being the New Day in NXT, fine. I don't have a problem with that. Like, I think that's fine. They bring eyes to the product. Everybody knows the New Day. Everybody loves the New Day. But I don't think they need the NXT tag team titles. And I get it. And like now they get to join this whole thing of like, oh, they were SmackDown tag champs, they're Raw tag champs, and now they're NXT. They're the Triple Crown. They joined the Triple Crown tag team champ things. Yeah, great and all, but I don't think they needed it. Like I think in NXT, your tag team championships should be on guys who are NXT born and bred that you're trying to build. You're trying to build them up as, really great tag teams. They have the NXT tag team championships. And after that, they'll be on to bigger and better things. Excuse me. I don't necessarily think that you need to bring the New Day down into NXT and have them win the NXT tag team championships. I don't think that does anything really for anybody. You don't need to elevate those belts by putting them on veterans like the New Day. And to have the New Day veterans themselves take those titles off of, some young up and comers, I don't know. What does that do? That doesn't do anything for me. And I don't know what it does for the belts. I don't know what it does for the other NXT wrestlers. I don't know.
Can I offer a devil's advocate?
Yeah, baby.
And I touched on this in the last episode. So here's the thing. To borrow a phrase from an illustrious champion, yes, short term, looking at it right now in the optics of the here and the now, it's a little tone deaf. I will give you that. I will give you that. It seems a little tone deaf, and it seems like are you wrestling a box over there? No,
I keep flipping my mic up and mute myself so that when I'm hacking, I'm not hacking into the mic.
Well,
me
good.
Turning my mic off and turning it back on.
I'm glad you're not murdering any boxes. So easy. I understand. Like, it seems.
I just got it.
The optics of it seem kind of stilted and kind of like question mark inducing, and like, but why though? Like, I understand but why though? long picture here. New Day going down there. You have fodder for the new guys. First of all, you have New Day coming out there saying, anywhere we go, we're champions. Anywhere we go, we're the best. NXT, main roster, no matter what. Anywhere we go, we're champions. You have the fodder for the young guys to come out and go, really? And throw all the old standard cliches, which I love to death, because no matter how many times you hear them, they always sound scathing and painful for, like, historic champions. And let's be frank, New Day are historic champions at this point. The to have them come out and
Isn't
go,
that
really?
More heel behavior?
What?
Isn't that more heel behavior though?
Well,
to be like, wherever we go, we're champions. We can beat anybody. Like we're champions.
but not said with.
That's not New Day now, though.
Yeah, but not said with ire, not said with those things. Well, you could even have them come out and face it up and be like, hey, we're happy to be here in NXT. Xavier Woods can be like, oh, I'm back on my stomping grounds, and having Kofi there, the whole thing. But, like, you could have them face it up real hard, but then you could have, good heel team come out and start throwing shade real hard and throwing out that, oh, you couldn't cut it anymore on the main roster, so now you got to come down here, huh? And then the New Day could throw out, oh, so you're saying that you're below the main roster, huh? And like it kind of writes itself, and I love that stuff. It's shtick. It's been, it's a tale as old as time, but I enjoy it every single time. But whoever, have New Day hold those belts for a while, have them narrowly escape victory, or escape loss, rather. Escape loss every single time. Every time. Have them barely clinch onto those belts. And then whoever beats them for those belts is going to get a super duper fucking crazy good rub. They're going to get a really good rub. And I think it's also really good for the talent down there to be around Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, because Kofi Kingston, he's been around a long time. He is a bona fide veteran, and he can teach them a lot of really good things. First of all, about how to, not only be a successful singles wrestler, not only be a successful superstar, but also be a successful tag team wrestler. Then you have someone like Xavier Woods, who not only is an excellent hand in the ring and has, worked in many different capacities in the dynamic of the New Day as a duo or a trio, but you have him be able to, like, help people who might be lacking in cutting promos. I understand that there's a wealth of knowledge down there, but Xavier Woods is something else, man. That man is charisma. He is lightning in a bottle charisma, and I think he could really help them. So having them down there, while on the surface might seem like kind of but think long term, think bigger picture, think behind the scenes picture, think about it that way, and I think it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, he can teach them how to do porn and not get fired.
Exactly, man. Get your dick wet and not get kicked.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just like
Oh.
somebody. I don't remember if it was Poot or Tom at the end of the last podcast was like, "Well, but the New Day can eat all the pins and really help young people. You know, the young people, the younger guys. You know,
That was me,
like,
and I will stand by that.
Oh, great. Well, then why don't they fucking lose to Pretty Deadly at Deadline and then go away? I don't think that there's any reason for them to beat Pretty Deadly and then probably lose to Pretty Deadly, you know, at Vengeance Day, which is more than likely. I don't think that this is going to be an extended thing in NXT for them. I don't think it should be an NXT an extended thing for them. They don't fit. And I'm saying that in the nicest way possible. When Balor went back down, he fit. When Mandy went back down, she fit. You know, when McIntyre showed back up, he fit. You know, Breeze, you know, all these people, they're NXT. For whatever reason, it works. The New Day felt like a cameo with a shock title win to make people go, oh! And yes, you know, Cody gets his prestigious 15th title reign. Great for Kofi. I'm happy for him. You know, good for him. Good. I'm glad. I like Kofi a lot. I just feel like, you know, it's punching down. It's like in UFC, whenever they can't, like, handle one weight class, so they cut a bunch of weight and go down to the next weight class, and then they're just destroying. Of course that's what's going to happen, man.
And what do they do every time? What do they do? They make more money and they have more success. And then once they get more under their legs, they go back up and they do better in their...
Get their ass kicked again.
Not every time, bud.
Most of the time. Most of the time, man. That's why you don't see it too often. Listen, man. I respect you have a good lot of great opinions about wrestling. This ain't one of them. I just feel like the New Day's punching down, and there's fucking no purpose for it, man. Zero purpose at all. I hear what you're saying, that they're going to do great things for some team. Some team's going to get a great rub. That team should have been Pretty Deadly at Deadline. That's the rub that should have happened. Period.
Okay.
End of argument.
That's fine, but maybe it wasn't right place, right time. And I know I throw out this chestnut quite a bit. Let's see how it fucking plays out, man. It might be super fucking entertaining.
I'll tell you exactly why the New Day won at Deadline against Pretty Deadly. You ready?
All right. Is everyone ready? It's time for Beef's hot take.
Absolutely. They won because NXT is going touring for their big shows again, and they needed big superstars to fill those big arenas. So for Vengeance Day, you couldn't just trot out Braun Breaker versus Grayson Waller. You couldn't trot out Roxanne versus Walla. You couldn't trot out Roxanne versus whoever. You needed something that's going to make people buy tickets. That's the New Day. Question mark. Yeah, I mean... And I mean, that's a completely different discussion, is whether this NXT deserves to be in these big venues. I don't think it does, because I don't think it has the star power that it once did. I think now with the removal of Mandy Rose, and Roxy is going to be great. Roxy is going to be amazing, but she's still very green in NXT. And they have a big shuffled deck with NXT UK that they're trying to sort out. And they have all these new kids from NXT 2.0. They're kind of like hanging in the balance. You know, this ain't your daddy's NXT. So I feel like they probably shouldn't be doing this. But because they are doing it, they need superstars. And that's why the New Day won those titles, so that they can sell some seats in North Carolina.
Oh, damn. I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of the touring aspect of it.
We think of things you haven't thought of, Labaski. We cut that from Dotson.
Things that I try not to think about, though I've heard rumblings, and I'm sure you guys have as well, is that once again, not only is there another sex scandal allegation that is being levied against Vince McMahon, but the more disturbing news is that Vince McMahon allegedly, reportedly, is thinking about trying to, I don't know, make a WWE comeback. I read reports that said that, he was given bad advice about stepping down. And
he feels that he was given bad advice.
Yes, he feels he was given bad advice about stepping down, and that, these allegations and everything would have blown over and everything would have been fine if he would have just stayed. And now there's talks of Vince McMahon thinking about or going to attempt a WWE comeback, which, look, I know the man built the company. I get it. But seeing where WWE was at the end of the Vince McMahon era and where it has come just in the very short time that it's been under the Triple H era, I will be devastated to see Vince McMahon return, because it'll go back to the way it was. Tie-dye will come back. Oh Lord, I'm dreading it. I'm dreading it. Please tell me it's not going to happen.
All right, wait. I have to get this out. I have to get this out. This is what I'm going to say on Vince McMahon. I have to get this out. It's going to be a fucking rant. If they let that fucking skeleton with fucking meat and then wrapped in masking tape get back into WWE with his bad fucking ideas and his golden fucking egg mysteries and his bad fucking booking and his maniacal fucking manipulation of fucking talent and storylines back in there, it will be the fucking death knell for that goddamn company. I understand that he is like the Teflon fucking Don. Nothing seems to stick to that fucking man. But the optics for this would be so fucking terrible, especially in 2022, heading into 2023, especially seeing how well that things are going on the whole in WWE and NXT. Having him come back in there, take back control, and fucking make it like it was, it would be the worst thing for that fucking company. We're all so happy right now. We're all happy as wrestling fans with the way that WWE is being done, Mandy Rose thing aside, but we're all happy. We're all happy. The fans are happy. The program is better. It's more entertaining. It's nice to be able to say nice things about WWE now that that fucking ghoul is gone. I am so fucking mad that when I read this on Facebook, I was at work and I was pissed off. I was immediately mad because I'm like, no. Do you see his face? He looks like the fucking Crypt Keeper ate a fucking like one chip challenge chip. He just fucking, he looks exhausted. He looks beaten up. He looks old and miserable, and it's not going to do anything well for this. It will tank that fucking company. They will keep making bad decisions. I can't have that be a possibility down the road in the future that Vince McMahon is going to come back. It just can't. I won't be able to handle it. I will have a fucking coronary and die. On this podcast, I will die.
Vince McMahon comes back and immediately, Karrion Kross fired, Dexter Lumis fired, Bray Wyatt fired,
Johnny Gargano fired.
Everybody that Triple H has brought back fired. Finn Balor, just for funsies. You know what, Finn? Triple H was going to make you a retribution story. Guess what? Fired.
Fuck. Anyway, Beef, go on.
Fuck.
Poot, I am here to allay your fears, my friend.
All right, you have consent to allay. Oh, wait, allay, not lay. Okay, go on.
There is no chance
in hell
he gets back. No chance he comes back in.
He's majority shareholder still.
To think that this is all gonna blow over is probably the biggest tell that Vince McMahon has adult onset of Alzheimer's. Like, well, I had sex with a bunch of women, but I paid them off, so it's probably gonna go away. Or I did inappropriate things and I paid them off, so it's probably no, man. Like,
Man.
James Gunn was fired over tweets he made fucking 5 years ago before the internet cried and brought him back. With good
There's
reason.
a big difference, though, between Marvel/Disney and WWE.
Oh, I agree. And yes, Vince might be a majority shareholder, but he's not the board of directors. He's not vice president of anything anymore. He can have all the fucking stocks he wants. That doesn't mean dick. He walked away from his position, thereby giving up all power. Unless he puts checks, and he may, in each of those board members' pockets for billions of dollars. He's not coming back. There's no way. Because
look,
for this exact reason, it comes out that he's thinking about a comeback. Boom, 2 more accusers, 2 more lawsuits. It's never gonna go away, Vince. It's never gonna go away.
But I had trepidations though, man. Like, his daughter and Nick Khan are what, co-CEOs?
Have no interest in bringing him back. They are all happy with how the company's being run currently.
So Vince goes to his daughter. Vince goes to this businessman that he was in business with, Nick Khan. How long did Vince and Nick work together? Like, you're telling me Vince goes to them and goes, all right, you guys, like, put me back in control of creative. I don't need to be on the board of directors anymore, but, like, come on, let's go. I want to be back in charge of creative. You think Nick Khan and Stephanie, his own daughter, are going to be like, nope.
Absolutely.
Tell your story walking. Really?
Absolutely. First time watching wrestling? First time hearing about wrestling politics? Dude, like, wrestling politics are cutthroat. Stab your best friend in the back, just like it is on screen, man. Like, this shit's real. Like, wrestling politics are the fucking dirtiest fucking thing next to fucking actual politics. Like, no, Nick Khan absolutely viewed Vince McMahon leaving as a good thing. And he'll never say so publicly. But Vince McMahon leaving was the best thing that could have happened to Nick Khan, because that means that Nick Khan moved up a tier.
Right, but he doesn't have to give up his tier if he just puts Vince back in charge of creative.
Yeah, but they won't, because they know that it was crap.
It was garbage, and it's widely known.
Yeah, everybody knows it was crap. The reason that no one told him that it was crap to his face was because he was the fucking president, CEO, the fucking, King Donginator. Like, without that power, like, yeah, okay, he's got fucking billions of dollars. Great. He still has crap ideas. Buy a fucking condo, Vince. Buy a fucking island. Get a hobby. Go fishing. Get a fucking 25-year-old girlfriend. I don't give a rat's fucking ass. Stay the hell out of fucking Malibu, deadbeat.
I don't know. Like, it's just...
No chance.
Fucking...
The minute that I read that, and then 2 sentences later in the same Forbes article, they're like, oh, and by the way, 2 new accusers have come out, dating back to 1985. The genesis of WrestleMania, by the way, was that year. Just if you're keeping track at home.
When was it? 1985?
Yeah, I think that's when the most recent accuser dated back to.
Oh, fuck.
So the entire WrestleMania era is tainted by Vince McMahon's taint. Like, his inappropriate fucking grabbing and fucking thrusting and the fucking genetic jackhammer and the fucking grapefruits. All of that fucking real.
You said
he probably
it wrong.
rubbed up on
It's
every...
the grapefruits.
every fucking female competitor that came through probably had to fucking grope him, or vice versa. I'll probably back off that because I don't want to get fucking hit with libel or slander or whatever. And my point is this: I don't think he has a leg to stand on. And as soon as I read that report, I read another report that said that Nick Khan, Triple H, Steph McMahon, board of directors, no way. They have no interest in bringing him back.
We know Vince McMahon has no legs to stand on. Did you see that Royal Rumble?
Aha!
Hey.
Oh my, how embarrassing.
I'm shocked that he is still up and running. I honestly thought this would be a Joe Paterno situation where, like, the only thing that kept him going was taken from him, so he was just going to wither away and die. I won't say I'm disappointed in that because it's the holiday season, and I don't think that that's the nice thing to do. And because I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. I'm trying not to wish harm and like badness on people. I'll say that
I am.
I knew you would, buddy. I'm shocked he hasn't got what he deserved. I'm shocked that karma hasn't got him yet. But I mean, honestly, like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, outside of that one time he was in that restaurant with Cena and his new lady friend, which, doesn't look like something that you could get for $1 billion, but whatever. I like, fuck Vince. Go find something else to do, man.
Look, man, the only thing that really gives me trepidation is the fact that, like you said, the latest accuser dates back to 1985.
Mm-hmm.
This is 2022. It went from 1985 to 2022. This guy has been doing this.
Yep.
And just on advice, he relinquished his posts. Like, he wasn't even forced out with lawsuits. Like, they didn't even give him the boot. He voluntarily left.
It would have been.
This 1985 to 2022, he is the slipperiest, slimiest slime ball that ever did slime. And I'm just...
It would have came down. Like, make no mistakes about it. Like, there would have been a time where he would have been forcibly removed. They gave him the option to walk away and keep his dignity.
I don't...
Well,
I mean, this dude, nothing sticks to this. He is the epitome of the Teflon Don.
I know.
And I'm worried, man, because if he could slip away for all those years, 20 plus years, 85 to 2022, man, he slipped and slid away from it to weasel his way back in some form or fashion.
You know what else that tells me, though?
What's that?
Is that there's probably a backlog of ladies that absolutely this has happened to, and they just didn't feel empowered. Now this has come out. Now that more people are coming out, I'm thinking that if he tries to pull some shit and get back on the fucking saddle, I'm hoping more of these girls will step up and be like, yep, it happened to me. And like, it just is an unending parade of women.
Oh, sorry, Beef.
No, I was just finishing the statement. An unending parade of women employed by WWF/WWE who have been, slimed by the chairman.
Well, I think that. So, are you saying that this will be like a microcosm of the speaking out movement we had a couple years ago?
Yeah, and I think that that's helped. To help these women, embolden these women. But yes, I feel like there's absolutely more that we don't know about yet.
It scares me to think that he wants to come back and,
I know, man. I know.
I don't know.
Like,
I can see it. I can see the nightmare taking place. Just, by the way, Vince McMahon's back in charge of creative. Triple H is now working under Vince McMahon. Oh, no.
That's fine. Like, AEW
it's not fine. The fucking plane has crashed into the mountain.
It's the exact opposite of fine. The exact opposite of fine. Everything's on fire. It's not fine.
AEW is great. AEW is still great. They've moved past the Great Bomb and everything's fine.
No, though. No, man. I don't want to go back.
Hold on. And we now have a proven track record that Triple H will be successful. And, Vince McMahon is a fucking octogenarian. He ain't gonna last for long. With getting 4 hours of sleep a night, I don't care how much money he has, fucking rumbling around in his fucking money bin. He's not gonna last forever. I feel bad for the talents that came back. Gargano, Cross for sure. Like they'll be gone. Regal. Oh man, do I feel bad for Regal. But again, I don't think it's going to happen. I just think that there's, again, this is like the iceberg in Titanic. If we can see this much sticking out of the surface, especially now that we have, it's not, and again, I get it, innocent till proven guilty, but court of public opinion has this dating back to 1985. Like now that we have a potential start point, like there is a big fucking hunk of ice under the water. I just, especially, kind of boondoggling it back to the Mandy Rose thing. Like if they're gonna do that to her, if you're gonna bring back a fucking lascivious old man who, fucking groped, felt up, and did God knows what to how many fucking young beautiful women, like that's the epitome of a fail. And moreover, I think that if it happens, if he comes back, I think that a lot of people would leave, like viewership. I think the viewership would tank because they would see the same thing that I'm talking about right now.
I mean, really though, because look at how many, look at the amount of thank you Vince there was whenever he left. Thank you Vince. It'll never be the same. You did such great things. Oh, Vince. Thank you Vince. Like there was an outpouring of just gushing over Vince McMahon whenever he left.
Dumbasses. Like, there's an outpouring of dumbasses.
Oh.
Who,
This is the scariest thing that has happened in wrestling ever. Bro,
it's a weird time. It's a weird time. And again, I'm not looking to get political, but look how like bad of a person fucking Donald Trump is. Like that we knew about, and he got elected because people are like, fuck it, let's see what happens. As president of the United States, of course Vince McMahon has a shot. Because some people are just don't give a fuck. Because some people have never gotten out of the 1800s that believe that women don't have rights. And that him groping them was probably the best thing that ever happened to them. And it's probably an alarming number of people, of wrestling fans around the United States that believe that. So yeah, yes, but that's life now. Everybody's got a Facebook. Everybody's got Twitter. Well, not anymore because Twitter sucks. Everybody's got fucking MySpace, whatever. Everybody's got opinions, and we're gonna hear about all of them. So like like of course he's got a shot, but I just don't see it ever going down, man. Like it would just be company suicide. I'll tell you what's not suicide is Chris Jericho putting over Action Andretti last night. Man,
did he lose the Ring of Honor championship?
He did. He lost to Cesaro at Ring of Honor Final Battle, which was a great pay-per-view, by the way. At least what I saw of it.
Look, I want to just, before you move on to Jericho putting over this young dude, I gotta say, I felt some happiness seeing Jericho tap out to the big swing.
Uh-huh.
Now, I'm sure there are people who will be like, you tapped out to the big swing? Really? Like that move? Dude, I've seen some pretty impressive things happen in wrestling. I gotta say, I don't get the hate for tapping out to the big swing. I don't understand the hate to that. Sure, it's a glorified, you're getting swung around. But at the same time, that move in and of itself is pretty freaking awesome. And I've never seen anybody tap out to the big swing before. And to see a match end like that, and to see a title change hands like that, I was not at all disappointed. There's something about that move that's impressive to me. And I get it. Like Ransom, it's just he's holding somebody by the ankles, he's just spinning them around. Yeah, man, but like, I don't know. I'm not.
It's arguably a dangerous move.
Yeah, like I'm not the Bard. I can't really phrase it eloquently in my words here. I got a tiny brain.
Can I take a shot?
Yeah, man. Like, help me out here.
All right. The reason why that it's feasible is because, first of all, it is an inherently dangerous move. If something goes wrong in that, someone's going flying. I know it's not super high velocity or anything, but second of all, it takes a lot of precision on both people's parts, a lot of trust on the person who's taking the move's part, and on top of that, it takes a great deal of strength. I want you at home right now, if you have a 245-pound fucking weight, to grab it, hold on to it, and spin as fast as you can. See how hard it is to hold on to that sumbitch.
Yeah, and he had Claudio had Jericho in that big swing for a decent amount of time, right?
I love like 45 seconds, I think. I love the long-term storytelling, because remember at fucking Blood and Guts when he was doing the big swing at the fucking, at the top of the fucking cell, man. Like, the flashbacks and, anything that happening up there, absolutely, Jericho could be like, man, I thought I was gonna fucking die at the top of the cage. So yeah, when I'm at the top of the when I'm taking the big, of course I feel like I might die. Like, long-term storytelling aside, it was a unique ending. I don't want to see all of Claudio's, or even most, or like a lot of Claudio's matches end like that. But it was neat because, like you said, we've never seen it. And it was a very curious, especially because Chris Jericho, fancies himself a sports entertainer. It was just very entertaining, the end of the match. So yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Jericho got what he had coming, which was great. And again, if you didn't get a chance to go back and watch, to see Final Battle, go back and watch if you can. The Briscoes versus FTR was incredible. Again, another incredible match. Surprise, surprise. And Athena won the women's title, so it really looks like they're setting things up for the move forward, which is going to be a weekly television show on the Honor Network or whatever it is, where you have to pay and you can see the show there. It's not going to include pay-per-views because they have a deal with Fight, I think. But I don't know, man. Like I think it was underwhelming, because Tony kind of said something about it, like, well, we're not going to be seeing a lot of Ring of Honor on AEW anymore, and everyone's like, oh, okay. And I think that we all kind of got a little too excited there. But I mean, it's a step forward. Hopefully they get good numbers on the Honor Network, whatever it's called, the Honor app, whatever, app of Honor, and he can take it to the networks and be like, hey, look, people are tuning in. Like, let's get this done. I don't know.
I feel like it's kind of being done in a stilted way. Go for the throat.
Well, and I mean, honestly,
and
the more I hear and see about what Warner Media is doing,
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
If they can, if they have the opportunity to launch onto a different network and a different subsidiary, I'm all for it, because Warner's making a lot of questionable decisions, and they really have since the merger with Discovery.
See, like, but I get it, like, not wanting to dive into that muddy water, but like, I just feel like this is going to be one of those things that I hope doesn't fall flat, because man, Raw has such an incredible history. It has such an incredible pedigree that I don't
think
want.
DK had a choice. I think that was his option.
I'm just.
I don't.
I'm just saying that, like, and I mean, like, the reason that I say that is because everybody in the wrestling world that is arguably, and you know how much we don't really care to use this term that much, a smark, is criticizing damn near every nook and cranny and every single move that's being made with Raw. For example, the revamped logo. People fucking shit their pants. Like, at least online that I saw. Like, when I first looked at it, I was like, that's kind of boring compared to the, like, what I consider the golden age Raw logo, the pointed one where the O is like overlapping the R and the H. You know what I'm talking about?
I do, but this new logo reminds me a lot of the old logo that they had with Punk and Joe and Brian and that.
It's similar to it, but it looks a little dumpier. Like, if you're gonna do that, just do it. Like, don't go back to the old one. Don't try and revamp it and smooth it out or do whatever the fuck. Like, just go back to it. Go back to one of the other two that people love. They want part of the Raw thing is not only because it's really, really good wrestling and it's really, really good wrestlers wrestling. It's nostalgia. There's a little bit of nostalgia in there for people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because Ring of Honor was people's first taste of really fucking good wrestling that wasn't WWE or WCW. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Right. Like, and before people found out about New Japan or, even GCW. Say what you want about GCW, but a lot of talent, really great talent, came through GCW. Like, yeah, I mean, even myself, like, Ring of Honor was a gateway drug to PWG. Or PWG, not GCW. I'm sorry, PWG.
I mean,
you knew what I meant. Like,
you're thinking like CZW, where Moxley came.
Yeah, from. Not CZW. I'm talking PWG. Like, like Raw was the first taste of where you felt not just like you were a wrestling fan, you felt like part of something. Yep. You know what I mean? And so why not just hit the nostalgia button and go back to that? I understand, like, it would do enough to lean on nostalgia for people who were really into Raw back in the day, or like you, Beef. I remember sitting in the in the gas station pump house and watching fucking Raw and PWG on your laptop.
Yes, sir.
Back in the glorious 360p, you know what I mean? Like that it was, but it was amazing. And like, I understand wanting to do your own thing with it and maybe needing to do it for like legal branding issues, but like, fucking just do it. You have the money, you bought the damn thing, fucking use it.
I mean, Tony Khan just leased Carry On My Wayward Son for the Elite. He's got money. He's got money for sure. I don't know, man. I just feel like I'm kind of in the same vein. I feel like this tiptoeing with Raw needs to end. It needs to be its own thing, and like Raw talents need to be Raw talents. AEW talents need to be AEW talents. The occasional intermingling is okay. But absolutely, Raw needs its own identity, and they need its own show. And I don't know that the Honor Network is going to be that, what they need. But again, I don't think Tony Khan had a lot of options, especially if like the Briscoes were part of his like idea, because they obviously have a big cachet of shit that they've done wrong in the past. Not just their like bloodfest matches, which are great, but like shit that they've said and the ways that they've represented themselves, unbecoming. So like I just don't think I again if Warner doesn't merge with Discovery, I think absolutely Rowe could have a slot on TNT or TBS. But since the merger, I honestly I know AEW is still a top like view for them, and I know that they're going to tout that, but
Oh
Henry
God!
Cavill
Don't bring
was
back
a great
tout. Good Lord.
Henry Cavill was the best Superman ever. Fight me, and he's gone.
Oh.
He's back, isn't he?
No, he's gone. Nope. They just said today that he's not returning as Superman.
That's a mistake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Warner Discovery is making a lot of really, really, really crazy decisions that I don't think are at the behest of anybody but themselves and money. And that's why I fear that AEW could be at a crux within the next year or two. But they're not at a crux with young talent. They still have some of the best young talent coming through those doors. And it is worth mentioning that that Chris Jericho did put over Action Andretti last night.
Yeah, man.
And you're thinking who?
I think that's awesome.
Absolutely. Before last night, I didn't know who Action Andretti was either. After he lost to Jericho, I'm like, okay, let's find out about him. And he's a pretty tight guy on the Indies. He seems like he's going to be the future of the business. Seems like a great hire, and it seems like a really smart move by Jericho, putting the right guy over.
Did he put him over clean?
He sure did.
I sent you that link from Pro Wrestling Now Talk Now and Then, and I remember I caught this match. I found it was in my YouTube recommended.
The Leo Rush versus Action Andretti.
Leo Rush versus Action Andretti. Like you watch it because you'll get it. Like a lot of people are kind of confused about this, but watch it. It's super good.
Yeah, man.
Is he a pretty talented dude?
He
fuck yeah.
Is. Yep. So I think that it was a great find.
Agreed.
And big call out for Pro Wrestling Talk Now and Then. Yours truly just happens to be a subject matter expert over there now. So.
Oh really?
I am a group expert officially. So.
Oh, look at this!
Man.
I don't call you the wrestling encyclopedia for nothing, buddy. Speaking of being a wrestling encyclopedia, do we have a Stump the Champs?
We do.
Chumps.
We do.
Oh, we are Chomps Spock.
He right. Yeah, we do. We can we can tackle it. We're a fearsome threesome. We got this, right? Right.
Right.
Let's do it.
Right, guys.
Let's fucking do it. It's
right, guys.
It's the season of
guys.
Poop.
What?
Poop. Yeah, it's the season of miracles. We got this.
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh. Yeah. It absolutely is the season of miracles.
Okay, so we have one in the tank from Ryuk back in mid-November.
Ryuk.
And then we also have Midcard Maniac. Being that Ernest is Ryuk has been the one that has been waiting the longest here. We're gonna hit his first.
I say we do this one and then save the Maniacs.
Nah, do both. Yeah, do both.
All right.
Well, I mean,
let's see just how much Ryuk puts us to the test here. I've been waiting for him to send us the Stump the Chumps, Stump the Things, do the thing.
Stump the Dumps.
Because I mean, every time we play Among Us, he's always asking when the next episode of the P3 is coming out. So clearly this guy's listening.
Yeah, man.
And he knows his wrestling stuff. You know, like I've heard him talk on Among Us nights about wrestling. So I know this guy knows his stuff. So I am, Ryuk, if you listen to this, man, I am super excited that you sent in a question. I'm really stoked about this.
Yeah, dude. Big facts. And yeah, thanks for Ryuk for sending in. And as always, thanks for the Maniac. And if you want to be featured on the Pittsburgh Powder Podcast, all you got to do is send those questions over to pittsburghpiledriverpodcast@gmail.com. Two emails, one with the question, one with the answer. In the answer email, just make sure that you have a few lines so I don't see the answer in the in the
Preview pane.
the preview pane. If I do, you are disqualified. All right, so here we go. From Ryuk, E-Tank the Man. Who owns the longest run as the U.S. title holder? Now, there is no specification of WWE or WCW.
Oh, yikes.
So I gotta believe we're talking period. End of list. WCW and WWE.
Yeah. I would think.
I mean, you know, if we hit an answer that we think is probably right, and he may have been going for the other one, I think that's a fair.
I think that counts. I would say that counts.
All right. I was going to go the other side and say, you know, a learning experience.
Oh, well, no. I mean, if we pick the one that's across the board and we get it right, but it's not the answer he wanted, I say we count that as a win.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm the same. So that being said,
Back in the WCW days is tough because I can't even remember when that was introduced as a.
Do you know who jumps into my mind? You know who jumps into my mind?
Who?
All right. Putting Hulk Hogan aside, because that title was always below Hulk Hogan, whatever. Sure. Okay, stick with me here. When you think of America, who do you think of? Think across WCW, think across WWE. Luger. That was the first person that popped into my fucking head was Luger. Like,
From WCW, Luger popped in there, Sting popped in there, and Dustin Rhodes popped in there.
I don't think it's Rhodes.
Keep this in mind now. We had a United States Championship now in WWE. We had it in WCW, we had it in WWF, and we had it in NWA.
Interesting.
So there's a United States Championship in each of those organizations.
I would say, just based on what I know about Ryuk, this is probably either WCW or WWE.
Yeah.
But the problem is that the WCW, you know, NWA bleeds into WCW. Like at some point, NWA becomes WCW.
Yeah, I know, but like I honestly, I would, that's the first thing that came into my head, and not that I'm sitting here trying not to, you know, either big brain or whatever. My thought process, I'm like, I think it's Luger. Because I'm like,
and again, he's talking about the longest single reign. I know Luger had the title a lot. I know you're right about
longest
that.
Single reign?
I believe so. Let me go back and reread the email. Who owns the longest run as the U.S. title holder?
Oh, longest run. Okay.
Well, so first of all, let's go ahead and talk through some WWF guys, some WWE guys that would have held the title for a hot minute. MVP had some pretty long runs.
He did.
I think that maybe MVP may have embarked on a year, if not more, in a single run as U.S. title holder.
That could have been.
See, and that was during the time that I didn't watch. So for me, I'm kind of like, I'll believe you on that.
Outside of him,
Dean Ambrose had a pretty decent run.
he did. He absolutely did. Yeah,
Yeah, but
'Cause he almost held it for the majority of the time that the Shield was around.
yeah, but
absolutely.
I don't know, because the Shield was a thing for how long?
A while, man.
And it was over a year.
Yeah.
So if he held the United States title the majority of the time he was in the Shield, that's over a year run.
I still think MVP probably has a longer run than Ambrose. That's my gut.
Yeah, he might.
Cena had a decent sized run.
And
His
he
was less
also
than a
had
year, though.
that grotesque belt.
Yeah, that spinner belt of his
best-
was less than a year reign.
The best belt. Yes. You're right. You're 100% right about that.
So
'Cause that
MVP would have beaten him out. Rick
Right.
Rude was the United States champion for a while, wasn't
he
he?
sure was. He sure was. Yep.
But I don't know. Then again, like, I know he had it for a decent amount of time, but I don't know if he's the longest. I don't know if he beats out MVP.
I'm trying to think.
I think Poot might be. I do like Luger.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like my mind goes to, like I said, those three and older, maybe even Harley Race. Because Harley Race I think was a big deal with the U.S. title as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably.
He was heavily associated with it, but and this is my lack of knowledge, to be perfectly honest with you. I really, like, I couldn't say safely, oh yeah, Harley Race, I forgot about him. Like, I know he was associated with the belt, but I can't go, oh yeah, hell yeah.
I honestly
like,
think he was more of a pioneer with it, like a Pat Patterson with the Intercontinental belt. Like
right.
Pat Patterson's not remembered as the longest reigning. He's remembered because he was,
for me, the first thing that popped in my head was like, oh, fucking Luger. Like that he's the embodiment of America.
And I'm not trying to disagree. I just know that, like, I'm worried that Luger's popping into your mind because he had it a lot, which is true, but I don't know that he had it a long time. You smell him cooking? Like, I know that he probably had it like 4 or 5 times, but I don't know that any of those reigns were, astronomical. Whereas I'm fairly certain that MVP had it for over 365.
I personally feel like, between my gut and I just feel like Luger's a safe bet. But if you want to go with MVP, if you want to go with Harley Race, I'll go with consensus here.
And honestly, like, there have been absolutely times where you've had a gut feeling and we've gone against it, or Ransom's had a gut feeling and we've gone against it, and it's bit us in the ass. So absolutely, if you have a feeling about Luger, I am willing to pull the trigger on that, because he was one of them that popped into my mind too. Okay. Whoa. What about Goldberg? Now, Goldberg's reign, I think, was less than a year.
No.
I'm trying to think from anybody else from, like, the Nitro era that would have had it a long time. Did Chris Kanyon finish the Nitro era as the United States champion? I know that he introduced the title in WWE.
I'm not trying
would that count as a single reign? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, but not trying. I think it's the longest single reign is what he wanted.
But that's what I'm saying, though, because, like, the purchase of WCW didn't immediately have, like, the Alliance coming in the next week. And then, like, even when the Alliance came in, the U.S. title wasn't introduced right away. Chris Kanyon sat on that for a minute. So, like, I'm wondering if technically, if Kanyon was in fact the last WCW U.S. title holder, if technically that span from when he won it, when the company was bought, and when he introduced it to the Fed, I wonder if that would be a longer sequential reign. Was that less than a year? Was that more than a year? I don't even remember.
No, that would have been less than a year because WCW ended. Didn't Chris Kanyon get that title because Booker T also won the WCW title and just kind of like forfeited out the United States title? So between that happening and Kanyon debuting in WWE, that was well less than a year. So I don't think that would have been a very long time span.
I'm just looking for weird outliers.
No, I get you. I think Poot's right. I think Luger probably I don't think he had that many title reigns. I think it was maybe 5 at max. But I believe one of those title reigns was a very long time. So I'd be willing to hedge my bet in Poot's court here and say, I think he's right with Luger.
I'll say this: if Ryuk is considering the WCW era, absolutely Luger. If we're only talking WWE, I think it's MVP.
I'm gonna say of all time, I'm going with my gut, and I'm saying Luger.
Ransom, Ransom, you. So I just want to hedge your bets in case he's only considering the WWE reign as well.
Right. If he's considering WWE, I think MVP's up there, but I
think Ambrose was longer.
No, I don't. I think MVP's is longer than Ambrose. I can't reconcile in my mind where Rick Rude was. I don't know if his longest reign was as United States champion in WCW or if it was in WWE.
He would have never had the title in WWE.
No?
No.
So any of his title reigns would have had to have happened in WCW then?
Correct. Exactly.
Oh, I see. Well, if that's the case, then I would say longest of all time, I'm with Poot. Longest of all time, I'm with Poot at
Luger.
At Luger.
Okay.
Oh, shoot. If it is WWE, I bet Dean Ambrose beats out MVP.
Well, let's go ahead and say Luger, and then we'll backtrack and discuss as needed. All right. So, and of course, he says, "Thanks for calling me out on the podcast. I really appreciate it, and I'm super excited to send you guys my first question." Thanks, Ryuk. We appreciate it as well. Lex Luger holds the longest reign, with his third reign lasting 523 days, while Dean Ambrose holds the longest reign under the WWE banner at 351, third longest in history.
500 days for Luger.
500
yeah, man.
plus.
Damn, Gina.
That's damn near 2 years.
Holy
That's
balls.
what I'm fucking saying, man. I immediately, when he said who has the longest U.S. title reign, I immediately saw that big pile of fucking meat and star spangles. I was just like, oh, it's Luger.
The big pile of meat, the mullet.
Like,
oh, wow.
And that
I didn't
doofy
realize
fucking
it was
face.
over 500 days. Damn.
It's over
That's a good one.
9,000. That cannot be. Ryuk, that was a great question, my man. We had to play all angles.
Hell yeah.
That was a really good one.
I don't think I'll give it to him. He deserves it.
Unfortunately, we don't give consolation prizes in this show, my dude. You don't get participation trophies. You brought your best, and your best was pretty good. But unfortunately, Ryuk, you are leaving with nothing.
We can do Pats, right? Come on. We can do 2.
Poot?
We could do it, right? We're on a roll.
You know what? It's the holiday season. I'm feeling given. Let's fucking do it.
Yes.
All right.
For Merry Christmas, Ransom.
Oh, yay. I'm so happy.
Come in and know me better, man. This will be a fun one.
Oh,
Did I tell you I'm the ghost of wrestling presents?
Better, man. Oh,
well, here we go.
Beef is absolutely the ghost of Christmas present. Son
Absolutely.
of a bitch.
The funny story, I talk wrestling with some guys at work. We were talking about people who used to like wrestling and probably don't anymore. I'm like, well, we just need to have a Charles Dickens Christmas Carol, and I'm absolutely the ghost of wrestling present. Absolutely, like no question in my mind. Like that's me. Come in.
I can see
wrestling
him.
better, man.
I can see Beef in that get up, surrounded by all the food, wearing the big robes. Come in and know me better, man. Oh, man, that warms my heart.
He goes, come in and know me better. He goes, come in and know me better, Dan. Howsen?
All right. Who are the 11 superstars to win the WWE Championship at Survivor Series? Universal and World Heavyweight Championships do not count.
Fuck.
So he wants the what?
He wants 11 people who won the title at Survivor Series.
Survivor Series.
Michaels?
Absolutely The Rock. Absolutely The Rock. He won Deadly Games.
Yep. So that's one. Here, you know what? I'll be the scribe. Let me pull up my notepad. Here.
Yep. And absolutely Michaels. Yep. 100%.
Yep.
Screw job.
Yep.
Those are two gimmies.
Yep. So we're already kind of there. Let me be the scribe here.
Kind of there.
Yeah, we're already kind of there. So we have
two out of 11. We're kind of there.
And Sean, Michael Sean Hickenbottom. Shawn Michaels. Okay. Stone Cold.
Can we say no more of these bullshit? Whatever.
Stone Cold. Oh wait. Diesel.
When did Survivor Series start?
Didn't Diesel win one?
Like 87.
Didn't Diesel win one at Survivor Series?
Yeah, because
didn't he win it off of Michaels at Survivor Series?
Good Lord.
So I'm trying to remember. Because I remember there was like one. He beat Backlund, but it wasn't at Survivor Series. It was at like some weird fucking house show. I think Backlund beat Bret Hart at Survivor Series though for the title. Did he not at Survivor Series? In the I Quit match.
When did Survivor Series start?
Put down Backlund. I'm damn near. I think 1987. I'm fairly certain because yes, I absolutely Diesel beat Backlund. Like sometime in December at some weird fucking house show, but Backlund beat Hart at Survivor Series in an I Quit match. It was actually a towel match, and Owen made Stu and Helen made Helen throw in a towel for Brett because Brett wasn't going to tap out.
You gotta give it to Pat. He researches this shit. So
yeah, man.
So we're saying so far we have The Rock, Shawn Michaels, and Diesel.
Nope. Bob Backlund.
Oh, Bob Backlund. Okay.
Not Diesel. I'm not saying that Diesel never won at Survivor Series. I'm saying that the one you're thinking of, he did not.
What about Brett?
Would it make more sense to go by Survivor, like go through the different Survivor Series and think that way? I don't know. I'm trying to bring order to this chaos. This is insane. This freaking question.
I don't think Brett ever won the title at Survivor Series. I think he won the title from Ric Flair like before Royal Rumble.
All right,
he won his other
Survivor
title.
Series.
So I will confidently say this. I'm fairly certain Hogan never won a title at Survivor Series. The
first few were all Survivor Series matches.
What about
Hogan
Taker?
Was champion, but
what about
that's
Taker?
a possibility. We'll get there.
Yes,
I'm with Ransom though.
Taker beat
Casket
Hogan.
match.
Yeah,
Taker beat Hogan
Sure did.
at, I can't remember which one it was. It was early 90s.
Okay,
Yep.
so
Taker
which-
beat Hogan.
Which precipitated the events of Tuesday in Texas, where
All right.
Hogan beat Taker for the belt.
all right, so we have 4
Right?
right. We have 4 right now. We have The Rock.
Or is that backwards?
Wait,
Did-
no. Wasn't the casket match, wasn't that with Yokozuna?
Right, but Renzo's talking about something different. I'm
Oh.
talking about this, where I'm trying to discern if Taker won at that Tuesday in Texas and then lost at Survivor Series, or if he beat Hogan at Survivor Series and then lost at Tuesday in Texas.
Taker beat Hogan
Okay.
at Survivor Series.
All right, if you're super sure, I'll believe you.
Yes, Taker beat Hogan at Survivor Series.
Okay,
What about Foley?
hold on.
I'm sorry,
We're-
I'm jumping
we're-
all over the place.
You sure are. We're
Yeah,
going
stop
through the
that.
ages here.
All right, so what do
That
we have?
would have
So
been,
that- so-
that would have been the
hold on.
first. Hold on, 90. That was early 90s. So
Yes.
I would say that's
That would be
probably
the first one.
first.
Yep.
That's the first.
That takes care of, like, the 80s wrestlers.
Yeah,
And then I
80s
think-
is gone.
I think the next one would have been the Montreal Screwjob.
No, because that's
Backlund.
early 90s. No, early 90s was Taker beating Hogan.
Right.
So Screwjob wouldn't happen until 98.
90. That was 97.
No. Yes, 97. That was
I
90.
think-
Yes,
I think-
that was 97.
I think
90
95 is when Backlund beat Brett.
So let's think early. Brett beat Shawn at a Survivor Series. He retained,
Right.
so Brett's got to go on that list.
No. Who won the championship at Survivor Series? Not retained. Who won the belt?
Oh, who won the belt?
Right.
All right, so Brett didn't win against Shawn. Brett went in as
Correct.
champion
Correct.
and retained. So
Correct.
after that,
I think it's when he lost to Backlund. If I'm remembering correctly, because that was before the Brett and Shawn thing really got heated. So he may have had a weird defense against Shawn, like an up and coming Shawn Michaels in 94. Lost to Backlund in 95. Something weird in 96. And then
Yeah,
the Screwjob
so-
in 97.
95,
I think was
90
back.
94 was Backlund.
Okay, I believe it.
94 back. That was the submission match
Right, the towel match.
because Owen was in Backlund's corner. So Backlund goes on the list.
Mm-hmm. So far we have Taker,
Taker and Backlund.
Backlund. Right.
Let's think chronologically here.
Right.
See,
Yep.
this kind of big braining is where you guys lose me. Like, because I've watched a lot of Survivor Series. I cannot fucking, they're just swimming around in my brain. So I will follow you guys' thoughts and I'll throw in where I can.
Okay. So after the Backlund match,
Did Sid did Sid win
no.
the Survivor Series?
well, not the
you
next
sure?
one.
Yeah,
He might have, but the next one wasn't the next one a Brett Diesel. Brett won it off of Diesel at the next Survivor Series.
I believe that.
At the next
that would
one,
have been about a year for
Sid would
Diesel.
have, Sid would have still been with Michaels, and they probably would have been involved in a Survivor Series match.
And then
So I think Brett goes on the list as the next person to win the title
I agree.
off of Diesel.
Because then somehow the title gets to Sid between then and Mania, and that's when Brett faces Austin that year, right? No. Yeah. Okay. I'm on board here.
So next one would be 96.
Right.
96 was the Undertaker versus Mankind, but that wasn't a title match.
Okay. That was Boiler Room Brawl, right?
Right.
But we're either of them champions?
No, that was Paul Bearer. Paul Bearer was involved in that one somehow. No,
okay.
neither one of them were champions. That was just a match.
So
I
who was
think
champion in
the
96?
next one, I think that was 96 on Michaels. And I think that's the one where Sid beats Michaels. because didn't Michaels at the following Mania, or no, at the following Rumble, didn't Michaels beat back Sid because that was in Texas in 96. Well, that would have been 97.
Hold on.
So the 96 Survivor Series would have been Sid beating Michaels for the title.
Hold on. I'm figuring something out. Keep talking.
So 96, Sid beats Michaels for the title at Survivor Series. And then the Rumble in 97 would have been the one in Texas. Because I can remember Shawn Michaels had, like, he didn't have the hearts on his shorts or on his trunks. He had the Texas flag.
The flags, right.
And that's where he beat Sid at that year's Rumble. So 96, Sid beats Shawn. So Sid goes on the list.
So let's talk WrestleMania main events the years following. So after Survivor Series 95, WrestleMania 12, which was the Iron Man match. That means that Bret would have had to have been champion, probably coming out of the wait, was 12 was the Iron Man match, right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm answering myself. So Bret would have had to probably been champion coming out of the Survivor Series 95. You're saying that Bret beat Diesel that year, right? 95?
Yes.
Okay. So then WrestleMania 13 was Sid versus Taker for the title. And that's where that whole fucking thing happened where Bret faced Sid in the cage match, and Austin tried to help Bret win so that he could have the title match at WrestleMania. So you're saying that 96 was the year that Sid walked out of Survivor Series as champion, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And we know 97 was the screw job.
Right.
So that's Michaels beating Bret. So Shawn goes on the list.
Right. Okay. So far, just to make sure that I'm on board here, we have Taker.
Yes.
Backlund.
Yes.
Bret.
Yes.
Shawn.
Yes.
Sid.
Yes.
Sid, and then Shawn.
Yes. So we have 5.
Okay.
So now we're going into Survivor Series 98.
Which was the Deadly Games, which Rock won.
Because that was the tournament.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So Rock goes on the list then after Shawn. And then 99.
So just for my keeping track, who do we have so far? Because right now I have down The Rock, Shawn Michaels, Bob Backlund, and Undertaker.
We have right. So we have Taker,
Bret,
Backlund, Bret, Sid, Shawn, Rock. We got 6.
Okay, so we have Sid. Okay, so we have Rock, Michaels, Backlund, Taker, Hart, and Sid.
Correct.
Yeah, we have 6. Now 99.
So Triple H would have carried the title into WrestleMania 2000. Now the Attitude Era was fucky. Like title changes happened in weird times. So like you can't always assume that like the person who carried the title out of Survivor Series carried it into Mania. But just to let you guys know, Paul Levesque would have been the incumbent champion of WrestleMania.
But I think where are we at now? 99? Yeah, we're at 99.
Yes. Yep.
Now, 99, wasn't that the year where Big Show showed up?
Yes, because he was in the title match at WrestleMania 2000. So yes, sir.
And I think at this year's Survivor Series, it was the triple threat match. It was Big Show, Triple H, and somebody. And this is where Big Show won the title at this year's Survivor Series.
Yeah?
In the triple threat. I can't remember the third person. I would assume it's
probably
Austin or Rock or
probably the Rock, because I think Austin was hurt for the majority of this time.
So Show goes on the list because Show won it at that one.
I would have never gotten Big Show, so yeah. Adam. Add him. All right, so that brings us to 7, right?
What?
That brings us to 2000.
Who are we adding?
Big Show.
Big Show. All right, so we're at 7.
So 2000.
Oh yeah, right.
Well, Survivor Series 2000, but 2001. Who was in the championship match at Mania in 2001?
Oh,
that
Lord.
would have been WrestleMania 17. So that was Austin versus Rock. Did Rock beat Austin for that one? No. Rock never beat Austin at Mania until WrestleMania 19. So Austin would have had to have beaten The Rock here at that WrestleMania. At WrestleMania 17. So Rock would have held it
going into that.
Right.
But I don't remember.
Yeah,
I remember The Rock being in a championship match at that one.
Right. I don't even remember. So the Attitude Era Survivor Series are tough. Because they all kind of blend together for me.
So 2000, what was happening in 2000? Angle was there in 2000. Angle might have.
Oh.
He did. Angle did. Angle.
That was the big 6-man Hell in a Cell, right?
No, that was Armageddon.
Ah. You're right.
Was this? Was 2000?
Boy.
Was American Badass there by 2000?
Yes. Absolutely he was.
Am I unfounded in saying Foley earlier?
He didn't win yet. Not at a Survivor Series yet.
Foley's reigns happened on Raw and then at Halftime Heat.
Gotcha.
Oh. I don't think the title changed hands at 2000 because I think Angle was the champ, and I don't remember him losing. So I'm willing to bet the 2000 was a successful title defense by, I want to say probably Angle. All right, so 2001
would have been the lead-in to WrestleMania 18, which was which was Jericho and Triple H.
There might not have been a title defense.
Wait. Isn't like the undisputed title, didn't that go down at Survivor Series? Where Jericho beat Austin and The Rock in the same night?
Not this one, because this Survivor Series was the WWF versus the Alliance in 2001.
Right.
So there would have been the WWE title and the WCW title. And I don't remember either one of those being defended at that year's Survivor Series. I think the undercard titles were defended, and there were.
I could have swore Jericho beat The Rock and Austin at Survivor Series. I might be wrong.
That might be the next year.
No, because he was that. So like he carried. We're talking about Survivor Series 2001, right?
Yes.
So the main event of WrestleMania 18 was Triple H versus Jericho, with Jericho being the undisputed champion.
But this year, I remember this year's Survivor Series because this year's Survivor Series was for supremacy.
You're absolutely right.
Because this was Team WWF versus Team Alliance, and whoever won that Survivor Series match won control of the company. And both The Rock was the WCW champion.
Yep.
On Team WWF, and Stone Cold was the WWF champion on Team Alliance.
Yep. So then the
so 2001 is a wash.
Okay. Yep. 02 would have been before WrestleMania 19, which was Lesnar versus Angle.
02, that was the year
Lesnar
that
beating
Shawn
Angle.
won the big gold belt
Okay.
in the Elimination Chamber at that Survivor Series.
Okay.
So,
which Pat said doesn't count.
right, but
This would have been the best looking title they ever had, the Undisputed title.
yeah. And wasn't that one Show versus Lesnar?
No, because Lesnar. Oh shit. Maybe.
It
Maybe.
was because that's the one where Paul Heyman betrayed Lesnar.
Yep. You're right.
To help
you
Big Show beat Lesnar for the best looking belt ever.
Yep. So, and we already have Big Show on the list. So, moving right along.
But would that be?
He said 11 men.
Oh, he said 11 men. So that would have been Big Show, but we already had Big Show on the list.
Right.
So that didn't count.
I'll be damned if Cena and Orton probably aren't on this list.
I bet they are.
I'm not trying to jump ahead, but I would be shocked. And the same with Triple H at some point. I don't know, man. I don't know.
So 2000, where are we at now? 2003?
Right. Which
was
event,
brand split.
Right. Main event would have been Eddie versus the WWE title was Eddie versus Angle. So Angle was the incumbent.
Not at Survivor Series.
Maybe not, but at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I think at the Survivor Series.
You think it's where he won it?
No, I think that was just big gold belt defense.
Okay.
I don't think the WWE title was defended there.
I believe it.
So 2003 is a wash. 2004 would have also still been brand split.
That would have been John Cena versus JBL at that year's WrestleMania. The next year's WrestleMania, rather.
Right. So
and this would have been in the height of JBL's long ass title reign.
Right. So he wouldn't have lost or won at Survivor Series. Well, he would have retained.
Right. But he wouldn't have won the belt at Survivor Series.
Right. So 2004 is a wash. So 2005, what was the main event of Mania 2006?
Oh, no. This is WrestleMania 22. I think that was... Fuck. John Cena and Triple H, I think, was WWE title. And Orton, Angle, Ray was world title, if I'm remembering. they may be swapped, but I'm pretty sure Triple H and Cena was WWE title.
So if that's the case, I bet for the WWE title,
nope. Cena would have been the incumbent. Yep.
And I don't remember Cena losing that title during that time. Like he hung on to that sucker. So I bet if he defended it at that year's Survivor Series, I bet he retained it.
Which one did we see? Did we see 06?
We saw...
Or 07?
No, because I graduated in 06, so we would have seen one of the ones before that. Orton was the last man standing in the one that we saw in Cleveland.
Right.
But that would have been... We were in College Park, so that would have been 05. No. 04.
I believe it.
All right, so 05 I bet was a wash because I would imagine Cena went in as the champ and retained
Probably
as the
came
champ.
out as the champ. Right, okay. 23, so Survivor Series 06. 23 is always one that I forget.
06.
Maybe Batista?
But that would have been big gold belt.
Yeah. Who did John Cena fight? Oh, John faced Shawn Michaels at 23.
And that, right. Yes. And that was after the DX reuniting. So that year's Survivor Series would have been Team DX versus Team Everybody Got Beat. Rated RKO. So Triple H wasn't involved in the WWE title. Michaels wasn't involved in the WWE title.
This is probably still, again, another big, long Cena reign.
Probably. So that probably would have been a wash as well. 07. Fuck you, Pat. 07. That would have probably been.
Sorry. I was figuring out, thinking ahead. That was the year before WrestleMania 24, which was Orton, Triple H, and Cena. I want to say Triple H came in as Orton came in as champion and left as champion. I think.
And I bet Orton.
Because Triple H and John Cena had the big fucking to do in the Rumble.
Yeah.
And John Cena tried to cash in his Rumble win early at Elimination Chamber, or whatever they called it at that time.
Yeah.
No way out.
I think this year was a wash as well, because I bet Orton went in as champ and retained as champ. He had the title for a good long time.
I would agree.
What's the next one? I don't even know where the fuck we're at anymore. 2008 now?
Yes. Yep. So 2008. WrestleMania 25, I think, was Cena Big Show, maybe? 25.
Oh, I remember this one. This one was when they did the big swerve, when everybody thought that it was going to be Jeff Hardy, but Edge came out halfway through the match, because it was Triple H and Kozlov were fighting for a while, and everybody thought that like Jeff Hardy was hurt, but he was still going to come back, and Vicky comes out and goes, he's here. But it was Edge, and Edge came out, and Edge won that one.
And that was WWE?
That was WWE.
All right, then we would need
that's back during the Save Me era of Jericho. So I think Jericho was the champ with the big gold belt.
You're right.
So Edge needs to go on that list, because that was the big swerve year of fucking guy. Fuck you, Pat.
You are right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 3 more left.
Good Lord.
So
we're only at 2009.
Who was after Big Show? Hardy?
Edge.
Okay.
So the next year.
Not trying to muddy the waters, but we have Rock, Michaels, Backlund, Undertaker, Bret Hart, Sid, Big Show, Edge.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the next year. Oh, damn. I remember this one too, because I see clips of this all the time on freaking YouTube. This is the DX versus Cena year, where it was a triple threat match.
Okay.
And right at the beginning of the match, the bell hit, and everybody thought that Michaels and Triple H were going to gang up on John Cena. And as soon as the bell rang, Triple H sweet chin music, Shawn Michaels sweet chin music, Triple H, and Triple H flopped out of the ring. And that was the big, dumb, surprised look on John Cena's face. The over-the-top acting of Cena.
Right.
And neither Michaels or H won that one. Cena went in as champ and went out as champ.
So that's a wash. What year was that? That was
2009.
2009. Okay. So then 2010 would have been WrestleMania 27. That's where Miz beat Cena? Did Miz go in? No. I think Miz went in as champion, but left as champion because Cena got DQ'd or whatever.
Lord Almighty, 2010. What was happening in 2010?
Well, like I said, Miz would have had Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
He may have actually cashed in Money in the Bank by that point. The Rock was announced as WrestleMania host on Valentine's Day. Not that helps you, but you know, that was a few months after. And that's when I met my wife.
Yeah. 2010. Golly heavens.
So Cena would have been likely champion or around the title at the very least.
Cena or Orton. Was the big gold belt still there? Probably.
Yes, I think so.
2010. Was that the year of the Nexus? ...2010 Nexus year? Completely wasted stable?
If not, it's got to be close.
There was a Survivor Series. It might have been this one. It might have been the one after. It all depends on where the Nexus falls. There was a Survivor Series where it was Orton versus Barrett, because Barrett was the leader of the Nexus. And that's when, like, Wade Barrett won John Cena somehow. Like, forced John Cena to become a member of the Nexus. And Cena was the special referee. And if Cena betrayed the Nexus or something, he was fired or couldn't face the champ. I don't know. There was some sort of weird Nexus stipulation there where Cena was the ref.
We're still in 2010, right?
It's 2010 or 2011. I'm trying to think in my head here which Survivor Series that would have been. Because I distinctly remember a Survivor Series where Cena was a ref between a championship match between Barrett and I want to say probably Orton, because nobody else would have had the title.
Mm-hmm.
And Cena had to call it down the middle, because if he didn't, Wade Barrett owned Cena and could like fire him or something goofy like that. But Wade Barrett never won the WWE Championship.
Right, so that would be a push. So 2010 would have been before, like I said, WrestleMania 27, which was fairly unremarkable, I think, outside of Edge's last match with Del Rio for the big gold belt. Cena and Miz for the big title. So I think that the Nexus was probably 2011, if I had to guess.
2011, wasn't that the first time ever, or one time ever? Cena? No, that was Cena and Rock.
That was WrestleMania.
I think 2010
28.
was a wash. I can't remember who it was, but I want to say it was a wash.
Okay. And I think 2011 would have been the end of the Nexus, right? Because then 28 is when Daniel Bryan first showed up and started defending the title, I believe. And 28, yes, was once in a lifetime.
2011. Was that Punk's first title reign?
Sounds right.
Would Punk have beat somebody for the title there?
So Punk, WWE title reign.
Because if 2010 was Wade Barrett Nexus, 2011, I don't remember if that was still Punk Nexus or if the Punk Nexus happened.
So 28 Punk defended against Jericho, the WWE title. You are correct there.
So Punk went in
2011. Yes, Punk was the WWE champion at that point and defended against Jericho. Because that was when Jericho's shtick was that he came back at the Rumble. Like, he came back like 2 weeks before the Rumble, didn't say anything, and he was like, it was down to him and Sheamus, and Sheamus beat him at that point, and then Sheamus beat Bryan at WrestleMania 28 for the title for the big gold.
Yeah, wasn't that like the couple
like the
second match?
Yep,
yeah.
But that was also the genesis of the Yes Movement.
Mm-hmm.
Poot's probably over here falling asleep. Sorry, Poot.
Oh, no, I'm not falling asleep. I'm just sitting here because I don't know any like Survivor Series as deep as you guys do. So I'm sitting here waiting for the next entry after Edge.
I'm not even like 100% on all of these, but like I'm just throwing. I'm basically alleying Ransom's oops here, because I'm giving him the WrestleMania matches. So, but yes, to answer your question, 2011, Punk probably would have been involved in a WWE title match at some. Well, likely would have been in a WWE title match at Survivor Series 2011.
If I could put him on the list, I can't even
You think
anymore.
he beat somebody?
I bet he did.
No. Hold on. Didn't Punk have a ridiculously long reign though?
Not at this point. Wouldn't it? This would have been either the genesis of it, or like he won the title and then lost it, and then had a big ass reign.
Wasn't Punk's first big WWE title reign the one where he beat Cena at Money in the Bank?
No. He beat
I'm
somebody
not
else.
talking about world title reign. I'm talking about WWE.
Right.
I'm almost certain that was his first time winning the WWE Championship.
Maybe.
And I believe that was Money in the Bank 2011.
Maybe it was.
And that's when they faffed about where they had Cena be like a temporary champion, and then had Cena and Ray fight over like the almost interim title, and then Punk came out at the very end. That's when Punk debuted Cult of Personality.
That was his second title reign though. That wasn't his first one. I don't think it was.
Wasn't it the Summer of Punk?
He won off of somebody obscure?
No, man.
Del Rio. He beat Del Rio
for the WWE title.
Yeah.
All right, I believe you.
I want to bet so. Good
he
Lord.
was definitely
Was
Money in the
11?
Bank. He was definitely Money in the Bank guy twice. So.
Because I think that was I don't know. I put Punk on the list.
All right. Again, this is a gut thing from Ransom. So
okay, so Punk. So we're at Rock, Michaels,
9.
Backlund, Taker, Brett, Sid, Big Show, Edge, Punk. We're at 9. We need 2 more.
All right, so that takes us through WrestleMania 28, which would have been 2012. So Survivor Series 2012. The main event at WrestleMania 29 was Cena versus Rock, once in a lifetime. This was during Punk's long ass title reign. Punk would have went in the champion, would have left the champion. This is a wash.
So 23.
So 2013 WrestleMania 30, which was Orton defending against Batista and Daniel Bryan.
And Orton held it for a while before that, because isn't that where Daniel Bryan won?
Yep, Orton cashed in a Survivor Series. Yep.
So no.
Orton had the title. He probably would have went in the champion, went out the champion.
Yeah, so 2013's a wash.
14 main event was Lesnar versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 31 with the cash in by Seth. This would have been during Brock Lesnar's dominance.
But this was also during his sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not.
Right.
So he might not have even been at Survivor Series.
Right, but I'm saying he would have had the belt likely.
Right.
So that's I think that 15 is probably a wash, or 14 is probably a wash.
Yes. Yeah.
15 main event at WrestleMania 32. That was Triple H versus Roman Reigns, I believe. So Rollins would have held it coming out of 31. Roman got it after that, but lost it before Rumble. Or no, Roman walked into the Rumble with the belt, and he had to defend it the whole time before WrestleMania 32. So Survivor Series 2015, Reigns probably had the title and probably walked out with the title. or he may have beaten Seth at Survivor Series 2015.
Twenty 15.
Yep.
Wasn't this the year of the tournament for the WWE, the new WWE World Heavyweight Championship after they combined them?
No, because
I bet it was.
because WrestleMania 31, the only belt defended was Lesnar versus Reigns.
Right. So that would have been after the big gold belt went away.
Right.
So after they combined it, after they had a unification. And didn't they do a tournament for that?
Well, so we would be retconning 2014 at this point.
No, because 2014 there were both belts. So sometime in between 2014 and 2015, they combined them and got rid of the big gold belt.
So you're saying So you're saying Survivor Series 2014 both belts existed?
Yes. And Survivor Series 2015 they did not. It was the one belt. It was the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
I think you're off a few years. WrestleMania 30, Orton defended the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Bryan and Batista. There was only one belt at that point.
Why would there have been a tournament? I'm almost positive that there was a tournament this year.
You could absolutely be right, because I remember them referencing the Deadly Games tournament. I remember them saying this is the second time that there's been a tournament.
I bet. Yeah, Seth probably got hurt.
So Seth probably got hurt, and they probably had a tournament here. You're probably right. Would Roman have won this?
I don't think so. He was in it.
I'll tell you for sure that he carried the belt into Royal Rumble, because that was a stipulation that he had to walk in as number one, as champion, and beat everybody to retain his belt.
I remember that.
Yeah. So unless they were hot shotting the belt, it's like and again, well.
What? Wait. Wasn't this This was a cash in. Somebody cashed in at this year's Survivor Series. Would this have been a Sheamus cash in?
Maybe.
I think Sheamus cashed in at this year's Survivor Series. You're right, because Roman Reigns.
So first of all, now if you're saying that the tournament, if Sheamus cashed in on somebody, that means that they won the tournament and therefore were the new champion. Even if it was for 30 seconds, that reign still counts.
Right.
So I think that Roman may have won and then Sheamus cashed in.
Yes.
Okay, so Roman and Sheamus.
Both Roman and Sheamus.
Right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 11.
All right. So here is the final total that we have. We have The Rock, Shawn Michaels, Bob Backlund, Undertaker, Bret Hart, Sid, Big Show, Edge, Punk, Roman, Sheamus.
So what year was that we were at?
16 or 15.
So since 2015, nobody new,
I'd believe it,
has won the title at Survivor Series.
I'd believe it. Because Roman would have been champion for 21 for sure. Probably 20, at least the blue belt. Well, let's look. So 33 was Orton versus Wyatt, and Wyatt won the belt in the Elimination Chamber.
Was that around about the time where they started doing like a bunch of champion versus champions at Survivor Series? Because wasn't there like a few years where they did that nonsense?
There absolutely was. Yep. 34. Was New Orleans again. What don't I remember 34? Anybody? WrestleMania 34? I think it was Roman. I think it was Roman. Maybe. Or Lesnar. One of the two. It was the second one in New Orleans. The only thing I remember about 34 was when The Rock came out and beat Eric Redbeard in like 4 seconds.
Oh, wow.
35 is when Rollins beat Lesnar. And again, I think that no, Lesnar never lost the belt to Goldberg. Right? No, that was Universal. That was Universal. 35 would have been Planet's champion Daniel Bryan versus Kofi. I think Bryan was on a big long tear there too. Yeah, I mean honestly, I'm pretty confident with our list.
Yeah, because I think after our last one, after that tournament year, where Roman won and then Sheamus won, weren't there were a bunch of Survivor Series that were champions versus champions, like they started doing that. Yep. And then this last year was the War Games, so the championship wasn't defended there.
Yep. And there was a few years where there was that year where they had NXT involved too.
Yeah, because it was a bunch. Yeah, it was Raw, SmackDown versus NXT. All those champions were in like bunch of triple threat matches.
Yep. So yeah, I'm happy. So let me just confirm. Brett. Nope. Sorry. Working forward. Taker, Backlund, Brett. Sid, HBK, Rock. Big Show, Edge, Punk, Roman, Sheamus.
That's 11, right? And he needed 11?
That's 11.
All right.
I'm pulling the trigger. Pat says, hope you guys got this one because I forgot some of these. Taker, 91. Backlund, 94. Brett, 95. Sid, 96. Michaels, 97. Rock, 98. Big Show, 99 and 2002. Edge, 08. Punk, 11. Roman Reigns and Sheamus, 2015.
What the fuck?
No more of those.
Wow.
Nope. We're not naming 11 of anything ever again.
Oh my lord, that was as bad as the stupid freaking Brawl for All.
But Pat, my man,
Grasping.
you got to remember, when you're around WrestleMania time, before, after, whatever, you are in the encyclopedia's world. And I will alley-oop any of these guys for any of these answers.
Dude,
So if you're gonna go hard, you got to go hard in the paint, brother.
Hard in the paint.
Unfortunately, Pat, what this means is that you lose, and you get nothing.
I don't know which one is the bigger achievement, this or the Brawl for All. I don't know. Honestly,
this is a close second because Brawl for All.
That was an epic.
That nut job wanted every bracket and every winner.
That was
scenario, still pretty damn bad.
But in the same scenario though, like you had an inside scoop because you just listened to the podcast, so it's like you were like almost like watched it, like you know.
He watched the Vice documentary on it, and I had watched it fairly recently as well.
with this, you and I had to like cross-reference fucking WrestleManias. So honestly, like I'll say that this was the tougher question.
I feel bad that I was no help on that one, guys. Like I'm that's not my wheelhouse. My wheelhouse is goofy bullshit wrestling.
I am also shocked that neither Cena nor Orton nor Triple H won the WWE title at Survivor Series ever.
It was always a bigger stage, man.
I mean, they had 6 successful title defenses.
They did, but they never won
never winning it there is weird.
I would keep pontificating, boys, but we are almost at 2 hours for this episode.
Yeah, man. Well, that's Pat's fault.
Yeah, that's Pat's fault. So Pat,
half an hour of this can be chalked up to Pat.
Oh, easily. But
damn it to hell, Pat.
Yeah, well, you know, we had some tacos earlier. Let's burrito it. Beef, lead me in.
Poop. Give the people what they want.
I love it. Thank you all so much for listening to the P3 podcast. Make sure you check out the links to our wonderful, wonderful supporters down there. We've got our very own Tiger Bomb Tom. That's right, Casual Gaming Dad over on Facebook, on Twitch, and the YouTubes. Make sure you check him out. A lot of awesome streaming. Join Casual Gaming Dad's Corner over on Facebook. Thank you, Mr. Sean Tischler, for your work and support with wrestling in the central Pennsylvania area. Looking forward to the next indie show that we can get out to. Also want to thank Gould Gaming, digressing a little bit back. Yes, I'm digressing back to Casual Gaming Dad. You can get your very own Casual Gaming Dad merch. It is high quality and a lot of really interesting, awesome stuff over on his shop. That's gouldgaming.com. And search on Casual Gaming Dad, and you can get your own very own Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast t-shirt. Make sure you check it out. And also thank you to Frigoff Ransom and Beef for Beef, your posts and your Beef Raw and the things that you do. I just love all of us. We're just fun. We're just great. We have a good time with these, and I'm going to be talking to these boys after this podcast. A little bit of a tidbit. I'm adding a little bit of spice to the burrito this time about some possible other nifty things that could be happening with the podcast. We'll see. We'll spitball it, see what they think. You'll find out. For myself, the Barbarian, Poot the Bard. For the Madman, Ransom over there. For our encyclopedia, Beef.
Nope.
All right, fine. All right, you're going to make this episode 2 hours on the button. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ransom. Hit him with it.
You got the intro.
For our galactic overlord, the one who is the most dominant force in the galaxy, the World Eater, your Titan of Titans, Beef Lactus, the World Eater.
Thanks, everybody. Bye. Okay.
Fuck you, Pat.